She's the biggest draw in women's tennis right now.
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
Yeah.
Correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the women. The girls coming in, she's not top 10, biggest.
Sam Querrey is currently going off. And the tennis community pays attention when someone like Sam Querrey speaks. Because this isn't just any voice expressing thoughts on the internet. This guy has spent years playing at the top level of professional tennis, has a thorough understanding of the sport, is aware of the requirements for success on the tour, and has personally seen what true star power looks like when it enters a room. Additionally, Sam Querrey is only pointing at one individual at this time. With no hesitation whatsoever, he points to Alex Eala and declares that she has emerged as the main attraction for the next WTA events. Not the largest, not one of the largest, the largest. Completely cease. Furthermore, Querrey is not keeping this to herself. He's not hiding it in a corner in the hopes that no one would notice. He's giving it his best. He is challenging anybody by placing it on the table in front of everyone. He is stating that Alex Eala has attained a level of drawing power that elevates her beyond the rest of the field in terms of the attention and excitement she creates each and every time she takes the court. If that wasn't already audacious enough, Querrey and the team of professionals supporting this discussion are going one step farther. They claim that Eala is headed towards surpassing even Aryna Sabalenka herself in terms of drawing others in. Take a time to consider what it implies. The top country in the world is Sabalenka. She has won many Grand Slam titles. She is now among the most well-known and powerful players in the globe. And after examining the scene, these experts have come to the conclusion that Alex Eala is already performing at a higher level when it comes to packing stadiums, creating an electrifying environment, and making fans feel as if they must attend every game.
Wins a slam, it would be like one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah, correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the
Querrey doesn't base his case on conjecture or wishful thinking. It is expanded upon what is currently taking on in these competitions. The figures are accurate. Crowds don't tell lies. Something changes when Alex Eala is supposed to perform. The air shifts in some way. People who didn't intend to go wind up attempting to purchase tickets. Those who have tickets already start discussing the game days before it starts. In order to be in the same building as this young Filipino lady and see her compete, fans travel incredible distances from all over the globe. It is impossible to create or duplicate the level of attention she demands on a court. It is entirely organic. Furthermore, Querrey makes it clear that none of the current top players on the circuit, not even the world number one herself, are producing that type of pull in the same manner. He even went so far as to speculate that some of the top 10 players on the WTA circuit could be feeling a particular way about the events around Eala. He is referring to athletes such as Sabalenka. Women who have dedicated their whole lives to become the best in their sport. Women who have taken home the greatest trophies in the game's history are implying that they may have observed and found it difficult to ignore the attention that Eala is receiving. Even if that is a huge statement, Querrey said it because that is the reality of what is happening in the tennis world at the moment.
Biggest draw in women's tennis right now.
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
When it comes to what Eala is saying, the larger community of experts is pushing this discussion even further. Could accomplish this year. Following her dramatic rise in the ranks, they are fully supporting her. They contend that the greatest event in professional tennis history would occur if Alex Eala were to win a Grand Slam in 2025. Not just for Asian tennis or the Philippines, but for tennis in general worldwide. They claim that it will be remembered for a very long time. The type of turning point that rewrites stories and gives rise to a whole new generation of admirers who point to that particular time and declare that it is when everything was different. That is a huge assertion. Furthermore, The fact that well-known figures in the tennis community are speaking out about it shows how seriously Eala's potential is now being taken. This is where the tale becomes even more interesting, since this discussion is being driven by more than just experts and commentators. The players are diving right in. Jessica Pegula, who has years of experience competing at the highest level of the game and is one of the top players on the WTA circuit, shared her experience of facing Eala in the Miami Open last year. Furthermore, her description was astounding. Pegula said that she was very shocked by what she witnessed when she entered the battle. It was unexpected. She hadn't prepared herself for the ambience that awaited her inside that location. It was electric energy. The audience was huge, fervent, unbelievably loud, and totally focused on one thing. It was crazy, according to Pegula. And in the greatest possible manner, she meant every word of it. She wasn't present to voice her displeasure. She was in awe of it. She realized she was seeing something really unique as she stood there in that setting. Pegula's subsequent remarks were quite detailed. She noted that Alex Eala has regularly had the most audience support of any player on the whole circuit, whether it was in Miami, the Australian Open, or Dubai. People flock to her in greater numbers than any other player is now producing. People go on trips for her. For the opportunity to enter the stadium and see her play, fans wait in lines that are far longer than those of a typical game. Magnetism of the kind is quite uncommon. For years, tennis as a sport has been attempting to establish that type of deep, sincere, emotionally committed relationship between a player and a fan base in new countries. And here is Alex Eala already doing it with only her ability, her personality, and the impact of her story, no orchestrated campaign to support it.
Has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour. They all come out to support her, and so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small.
Subsequently, Novak Djokovic contributed his voice to all of the previously stated. A guy who has won more Grand Slam championships than any other person in sports history. A guy who has spent more than 20 years playing professional tennis at every level. Alex Eala is the best tennis player the Philippines has ever produced, according to Djokovic. According to him, she deserves all the honor and distinction that the sport has to give. And he specifically spoke about the way her scheduling and court assignments have been managed at various tournaments, making clear that he believes the situation around her has not always been handled in a way that reflects her actual status and drawing power. The whole tennis community pays attention when Djokovic says anything like that. Fans aren't the only ones making noise now, speaking out that Alex Eala deserves more and that the sport should treat her as such is the finest thing that has ever happened.
Alex Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest. So things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's so young and she's just coming through. So
the sheer volume of individuals she attracts from all around the world. She's performing at a level that even Aryna Sabalenka has failed to meet. What Sabalenka has achieved inside the limits is not being diminished by anybody. A champion of the greatest kind, she is. However, the experts are distinguishing between winning championships and making the type of financial and cultural effect that changes a sport and introduces it to whole new audiences. According to that metric, Alex Eala is now standing alone. This discussion was initiated by Sam Querrey, but it has expanded much beyond one man's viewpoint. It is being said by the athletes, the experts, the legends, and the audiences that are appearing everywhere. Nobody is shouting it louder than Alex Eala, the largest tennis draw. She has become into that. Furthermore, it seems like this is only the beginning based on everything that is now going on around her.